Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hi, good morning. We made it to Thursday. It is June 13th.
Good morning. Okay, you've had a dog. Mm-hmm. Your dog gets the zoomies.
Yeah.
And these are my dogs. That's Sister and Scooby. But I call this parkour time because this is where Sister, like on loop, just like, it's like parkour. Okay.
I used to think this was them showing off, but apparently there's more to it.
There's an actual science behind it, and it's called frenetic random activity period, or FRAP for short, like Frappuccino. They just drink a Frappuccino and they're all pumped up on caffeine.
That makes sense. Well, typically we see FRAPs happen at times of transition through the day. So it might be like, when the owner gets home from work and they're super excited, or a guest is coming over before or after a meal. They say here after being groomed, or even before bedtime.
Yeah, and it might just make a little more sense that they need to blow off some steam. So there are good and bad zoomies. A happy zoomie is if they're really loose and wiggly and carefree, if their ears are pinned back and their eyes are really wide and worried, and their body seems tense, it could actually mean your pup is anxious or in pain.
Yeah, I feel bad. I didn't know that. And while frenetic random activity periods are typically a dog thing, this is funny. Cats, horses, donkeys, and cows, and many other animals are known to do similar things. I guess I haven't lived on a farm. I haven't really seen cows or donkeys.
Or what? I've seen zoomies at the zoo before.
Oh, at the zoo,
like the hippos. The hippos get the zoomies where they start. Yeah, a hippo. It's
probably because
big thing to get zoomies.
Maybe the people are tapping on the glass.
I don't know.
I would supposed to tap on the glass.
Yeah, don't tap on the glass. Yeah. But I think we all get zoomies. I get zoomies.
Oh, going in and around the newsroom?
Sometimes, yeah, you'll just see me and it's usually after caffeine or something, or just lack of sleep, and you're like, ah!
Yes, just to stay awake.
Yeah, Justin Horn also gets zoomies. Can you imagine that?
You did on the way in here.
Yeah, you were
I was moving.
And are you okay, Justin?
No, there is one person in the newsroom who I would say for sure gets the zoomies, and that's Adam Caskey.
Oh, he's permanent zoomie.
Yes. Yes.
I love it. No, that's interesting science, though. And my dog...
The fraps.
Yeah, the fraps. And I see mostly my dog does it in the evening. I'll put her out in the yard and she just one side to the other.
Right before you want them to calm down.
Yeah.
Nope, one more time.
Well, get that energy out. That's a good thing. We got all the energy out of the atmosphere yesterday. We've got a couple of leftover showers and storms out there this morning, but there's not much there. And I don't expect much in the way of rain today. So you can pretty much put the umbrella away, at least for a few days. Let's get right to the radar. And I'll show you where that action is right now. We've got showers down around Beeville, Kennedy, down towards Port Lavaca, but that's where I think most of this stays. I can't completely rule out a straight shower this afternoon, but it will not be like the last few days where we had fairly widespread rain. 90 noontime, and then we'll be up around 96 this afternoon. Look at the feels like number, though. We're back up to that heat index eclipsing 100 with the humidity out there, and then temperatures fall back down into the 90s tonight, 89 by 9 p.m. and mostly clear skies. Hey, here's something that is definitely a topic of conversation. We had an article about this yesterday on KSAT.com, but the National Hurricane Center has flagged the southern Gulf of Mexico for some potential development. What does that mean for us? Well, let's look at what we're watching here when it comes to the tropics. Does it develop? Still some questions there as to whether or not this stays unorganized or develops into something more tropical and moves towards Mexico. Honestly, unorganized is better for us. That means a better chance of rain. And how far north does this moisture come? If we can get some deep tropical moisture in here, that would help us with our rain chances. But I think that's still a question, too. So will we see some tropical downpours? If we do, this would be the middle part of next week. We're going to dive into all this and give you a better look at that forecast. But that's kind of the big story right now. Let's check with RJ and see what is the big story out on the roads this morning.
All right, y'all. Yeah, I'm definitely zoomed out from all the traffic that we've seen throughout the entire morning here. Had a big mess on 35. We're going to show you the ongoing situation here as I step out the way here. 151 West Military Drive, taking a look at our TransGuide traffic cameras. And things looking pretty good in most parts of the city, 90 at Medio Creek. But we are going to show you northeast side right now because we do have a pretty significant backup. We had a car car fire that was being reported a little bit further up the road here, Engle Road. You see the backup here, 1103. So there's going to be 35 northbound traffic. Also, we are seeing some delays over in the Roy Richard area. So all of our folks in the Schertz and Cibolo area, keep that in mind if you're going to be heading out anytime soon. Northbound 35 headed out to the New Braunfels area. All right, a little bit closer back to the San Antonio metropolitan area. Let's take you all the way far west side. This has been an ongoing situation there. 151 east at West Military Drive. Starting to see a little bit of backups there in that very busy part of the city, but traffic is still getting through that area. And let's show you one more spot here because I want to take you out here back to the north of downtown area, and we have a stalled vehicle being reported 281 north right there at Hildebrand Road around the a little bit north of the Pearl area headed up to the quarry. So make sure to be on the lookout for some of these trouble spots that we're seeing right now, and we'll continue to monitor the situation out there on 35 on the northeast side. But just be safe if you're about to head out the roads or step outside right now. Sarah, Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ. Here's today's 9 at 9.
The American Civil Liberties Union is suing the Biden administration over the president's executive action aimed at securing the southern border. The ACLU argues that the measure violates U.S. immigration law and the administration
are also down around 2%, falling to a little over $78 a barrel.
David Muir.
Good morning, everyone. We're coming on the air because there is breaking news at this hour. The Supreme Court has just issued a major ruling on abortion in this country, the most consequential since Roe versus Wade was overturned 2 years ago. Now, this case concerns the availability and access to the abortion pill mifepristone. Just moments ago, the court ruling unanimously to maintain availability. It will stay where it is in this country. I want to bring in Terry Moran live at the Supreme Court. Essentially, the justices on the court said the plaintiffs here lacked the legal right to challenge availability of mifepristone on a number of counts.
Exactly, David. This is a big case. It's a big case on abortion rights, specifically on that drug mifepristone, which has been the source of so much controversy. The FDA's approval of mifepristone for use was challenged by a group of doctors. These are not doctors who treat pregnant women or who perform abortions at all. They had conscience objections. They were anti-abortion rights, pro-life in their lingo, doctors who objected to the approval of mifepristone. They said that at some point, perhaps in some emergency room, they would find a woman who had complications from taking mifepristone, and that would violate their conscience. What the Supreme Court said is that's not a real injury under the law. In order to bring a lawsuit, you have to have standing. That means you have to be deliberately affected by that law, not some conscience objection, especially since this law has exceptions for doctors who do not want to have anything to do with performing abortions. And so in a unanimous opinion, how often do you hear that from the Supreme Court, written by Justice Brett Kavanaugh, with a concurring opinion by Justice Thomas, but unanimous in the result, the Supreme Court says this kind of case brought essentially by activists rather than physicians who are treating this issue with this drug is not enough to get you into federal court and make a claim. It is essentially keeping the action in the courts limited to people who genuinely are impacted by this, so that someone who merely has an ideological or religious or conscience objection to what the government is doing can't just come into court and say, I'm injured because of that. You have to stop it. And so the bottom line, mifepristone remains available as it has been for women, including in the most recent FDA action, which made it available to people without having to go to a doctor. During the pandemic, they did that. All of the controversy over this drug now at this point seems settled by this unanimous opinion by the Supreme Court.
Let's just broaden out here for a moment, Terry, reporting this unanimous decision from the court on the issue of mifepristone. The justices on the court essentially telling those who brought the case they lack the legal right to challenge this. They don't prescribe the drug. They listed a number of other reasons why they don't have the right to challenge. But again, for those of you watching here this morning, mifepristone can be prescribed and sent through the mail in many states in this country. And of course, in the wake of the rollback of Roe versus Wade, this is a significant ruling. It means that mifepristone will still be available in many states in this country. It is used for the majority of abortions in the U.S. by women who are up to 10 weeks pregnant. So, Terry, this is significant, and bring the audience up to speed as to where mifepristone is still available here in the U.S.
Well, that obviously depends on state-to-state laws right now. In those states, and there's a big controversy about that because it can be mailed now under the 2021 revisions by the FDA during the pandemic, saying that women did not have to have an in-person doctor's visit to receive a prescription for mifepristone. Many of the states which have sought to limit or virtually eliminate access to abortion are objecting to that. But this ruling does not touch any of that. That is for a future case or controversy. And I just want to read one line from Justice Brett Kavanaugh's opinion for a unanimous court. He recognized why this case was brought. Justice Kavanaugh, writing for the court, the plaintiffs have sincere moral, ideological, and policy objections to elective abortion and to the FDA's relaxed regulation of mifepristone. But under the Constitution, Justice Kavanaugh says, those kinds of objections alone do not establish a case or controversy that the judiciary can resolve. And he says that's what really the democratic processes are for. They can go and try and elect a president they want who can change those regulations at the FDA. They can try to have Congress pass a law, but bringing a suit like this won't work.
Terry, thank you. Stick with us here because in this decision, they go on to say the plaintiffs may present their concerns and objections to the president and to the FDA in the regulatory process, again, pointing out essentially the power of the FDA in decisions like this one. And of course, this has been standing for decades, essentially, here in this country. Let's bring in Devin Dwyer. This would be appear to be a major victory for the FDA this morning.
A huge win, David, for not only the agency, but also the drug industry, which came out in force against this challenge to mifepristone, warning that if courts could strip away the availability of some individual drug that had been approved by scientists for decades, it could imperil access to any number of medicines, considering things like special life-saving drugs developed with embryonic stem cells or HIV/AIDS treatments or fertility drugs for IVF. So the industry today is breathing a big sigh of relief as well, David.
Devin, thank you. Let's bring in Kate Shaw, our legal analyst. And Kate, obviously this post-Roe America, the rollback of Roe versus Wade, a lot of eyes on this particular decision this morning. What do you make of the unanimous decision here today that comes in the wake of the overturning of Roe in this country?
Well, enormous on-the-ground impact, David, in that mifepristone, as you said, is the most common way of ending an early pregnancy today, particularly in the post-Dobbs era. And so right now, mifepristone remains available on the terms that the FDA has decided are safe and consistent with, the effective use of the drug. And so I do think that the FDA and the drug industry in general, and, pregnant women who wish to terminate early pregnancies are all breathing a sigh of relief today. I mean, I would say one thing, which is that, so this case is over and the drug remains available on the terms that the FDA has set. But there's another case waiting in the wings, actually brought by states instead of individual doctors who object to abortion and to mifepristone. And those states may have an easier time convincing lower courts and even the Supreme Court that they have the legal right to be in court challenging mifepristone and its availability. So I wouldn't say that this issue is definitively resolved for all time, even though this case is and mifepristone remains available. But in the short term, at least, any efforts to restrict access to mifepristone, I think, will be directed at the FDA and the executive branch because, a different president could make a different set of directives. The FDA could change its decision about mifepristone. So, I think this issue is far from definitively resolved, even though this case is over.
Yeah, no question about that. So, Kate, essentially, again, big picture here, the issue of abortion rights, the Supreme Court has signaled with the overturning of Roe, belongs at the state level. And today, in particular, when it comes to mifepristone, they're saying this, it still belongs to the decision-making.
And that was a special report from ABC where the U.S. Supreme Court just upheld to maintain availability and access to maintain that abortion pill mifepristone. Means mifepristone will be available in many U.S. states that allows women up to 10 weeks who are pregnant 10 weeks to take that abortion pill.
Yeah, so the court found unanimously that the group of anti-abortion doctors who were questioning the Food and Drug Administration's decisions making it easier to access that pill did not have legal standing to sue. So as a result, again, the lawsuit will be dismissed. And we brought you that special report and we had to cut into the 9 at 9. However, we're going to have that posted on our YouTube channel later this morning so you can watch the full video there.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It's 9:17. Let's look out there with live cam. We're now in the 80s.
Clouds.
Yeah, the clouds will help, Justin. Let's hope they'll stick around a little longer.
Those are pretty clouds, very picturesque this morning. Some puffy clouds out there, none of which are really producing any rain. We did have a couple showers move through San Antonio earlier. Now things are fairly dry. 82 here. It is going to be humid today, so heat indices will be up back near 100. 77 right now at Bernie, 78 in Kerrville. We have an east-southeasterly wind. Speaking of those clouds, there they are. This is the visible satellite picture. So we're looking down from space on San Antonio, and you can see we've got partly cloudy skies. So I think with this amount of cloud cover, yes, that will help with temperatures today. We're still going mid-90s, but better than, the alternative where we could be up near 100. I think the question will be is, will any of these clouds bubble up into some showers or storms? Possible, not likely. I think the overall coverage of showers and storms today will be fairly low, but I can't completely rule it out. Noontime, this model does not show anything. Maybe 1 or 2 showers popping up this afternoon. So we'll leave in a 10% chance of rain. You got to get really lucky if you're going to see any rain this afternoon. High temperatures will be up around 96 here in San Antonio, 97 Stinson, 97 Floresville, 98 Hondo. Yes, a hot day. And as I said, heat index values will be close to 100. Father's Day weekend. How's it looking? 99 Saturday, 100 on Sunday. So dads, we can just sit inside the living room on the couch in the AC, maybe in a beverage or two. That's the kind of weekend it's shaping up to be. You don't want to go work in the yard. You shouldn't have to. It's Father's Day. Just saying.
That's why you did it last week.
I did it last week. I did it last week. Tropical weather outlook. This is, again, the big topic of conversation now. We're watching what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico. Yes, a couple of other areas hurricane centers watching, but these are moving out to the open waters. It's this one that is drawing our attention, right? So there is now a moderate risk of this developing, 40% chance. And as I've been saying, honestly, that's maybe not a great scenario for us. We want this to stay unorganized because it spreads the wealth a little bit more. If you get these things to develop, the sphere of influence tends to be a little smaller. And if this goes west, which right now that's what the indications are, anything that develops here would kind of move west into Mexico, it may take a lot of the moisture south with it. We'll see. There's still a lot of questions that got to be answered here. We've got to get an actual system in the Gulf first and foremost, before we start talking about specific forecasts. But with the forecast moisture, what we're looking at here is the moisture in the atmosphere. So where you see this green color and kind of whitish color here, that's where the deep tropical moisture is with this system. And this is one of our computer models that shows some of that moisture rotating into Texas and maybe around San Antonio by Wednesday, with I think the best odds of good heavy rain being down here in deep South Texas, which they need it too. But it would be nice if we could get a few tropical downpours. I think it's possible. This kind of scenario, usually how it plays out, we get these scattered downpours around the area that can put down some good rain. It just won't be one steady shield of rain, and that'll be something to watch. But we have put rain chances at 40% on Wednesday to account for this, so that's what we'll be watching for next week. In the meantime, as we said, a hot weekend with temperatures near triple digits on Sunday, and then we bring the rain chances in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That also lends itself to some cooler temperatures. We'll be right back.
by having these events and conventions, we're able to continue to keep people employed and growing our economy that way.
Well, another conference is bringing in thousands of people to San Antonio and is filling up hotels, restaurants, and the streets.
That's right. Before the pandemic, the city was hosting almost 90 convention center events. Obviously, that slowed during COVID, but now for the fiscal year of 2024, they're back up to hosting almost 100 events.
So Tiffany Huertas explains how these events are boosting the city's economy and why organizations are choosing to bring their conferences to the Alamo City.
This is a big deal for our city.
Visit San Antonio welcomed people from different industries to the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center for the Cvent Connect conference.
Cvent Connect is a annual user and industry conference that we host every year for our customers and our prospects in the events industry.
This conference is also giving thousands of people an opportunity to explore the city and culture.
San Antonio has been amazing partners. I've been working with Visit San Antonio for years on Cvent Connect. They've been a sponsor for years. They're a big part of our industry, and they really came forward with an amazing bid to host in the city.
Many conference participants are visiting local restaurants and staying in area hotels.
I was at the Pearl District last night, and they had a lot of nice, cute restaurants.
Visit SA attracts different conferences to the Alamo City like this one. This event brought 4,000 in-person participants and 6,000 virtually.
We measure events through what's called economic impact. So we're measuring attendee spend, we're measuring a bunch of different variables. We have deployed our teams to be able to focus on bringing more events here than we ever have before.
What other conferences are in the horizon?
Yeah, we have a couple of really large-scale events that are coming up that I'm personally really excited about. We have Molson Coors, which is bringing their distributor conference. We have American Osteopathic Association, which is bringing their annual meeting to us, along with EDUCAUSE, which is a large-scale education association.
Visit SA is already planning events for next year.
2025 is one of our best years that we're going to have looking into the future. We have some really large events coming back.
Some of these participants are excited to return and connect with the city again.
The hospitality here is incredible. We have had so many attendees make comments of just how friendly everybody is, how inclusive the city has been, how amazing and walkable it is.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
1 in 10 adults who are 65 or older are expected to experience elder abuse each year, and that's according to the U.S. Department of Justice. It is a scary statistic and one that people across San Antonio are trying to change, including here at KSAT. Well, Dr. Leo Lopez with University Health says that Bexar County leads the state of Texas for reported elder abuse cases. And that's why he says everyone should know the warning signs. However, those can be difficult to spot unless you're on the lookout.
You might have some actual physical signs, such as scratches, scars, or burns. They might appear more disheveled, more isolated, dehydrated, underfed.
Now, suspected elder abuse should be reported to Adult Protective Services. That number is on your screen. That's 800-252-5400. And we are also keeping this conversation going. Join us today at noon for a Q&A with our Avery Everett before our KSAT Community Town Hall this afternoon at 2 p.m. So that will be on KSAT Plus, and Avery will be speaking with experts from Adult Protective Services and Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union about the problem of elder abuse and how to prevent it.
It's 9:27 and 82 degrees. There's more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including RJ with a recap of Game 3 of the NBA Finals, and Boston looks to sweep the Mavs. We'll be right back.
Taking a look outside with live cam. Hey, if you need to do stuff outside, do it now because those clouds are out there. It's 83 degrees. Justin, the humidity, though, is no joke today.
No, it's still there. And it'll create a heat index. And you're right, because those clouds are going to thin out a little bit later this afternoon, so there'll be a lot more sun. And we're still going to get up in the mid-90s. So now is a good time to take a run, work in the yard, whatever you got to do today. Quick shout out to our friends up in New Braunfels. Man, this was some good rain. And I feel for the folks up there. They've been in a drought situation. And I think we're finally starting to get a little bit of a handle on it. More than 2 inches of rain. I'm assuming that's over the last several days. there in New Braunfels, 2.3 to be exact. And yes, you're right, that rainfall over the recharge zone. So the aquifer is responding in kind, and we love that. Thank you for that picture coming out of New Braunfels this morning. Pollen count, molds are moderate. They're still on their way down, but holding in the moderate category for right now, so still may be causing some issues for some. Authority radar doesn't show us much. We've got some showers further south of San Antonio, but not much here in town. You see the activity down there around Beeville. Most of this is drifting south, so I just don't think we're going to see a lot in San Antonio today. But it will still be hot, 96 here in town. Places like Del Rio, Laredo, even Amarillo will be in the 100s. And shout out to RJ's hometown, El Paso, 107 this afternoon. So we're looking better than that at least. We're going to talk more about the tropics once again coming up. Also, some Saharan dust. When does that arrive to the area? More on that in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Well, in your morning headlines, new details on the bus hijacking that left one person dead in Atlanta.
This morning, we're hearing from passengers and the driver in his only on-camera interview.
And as ABC's Faith Abube reports, we also hear a little bit from the suspect.
This morning, new details about what unfolded during those terrifying moments on a hijacked bus full of commuters in Atlanta.
We're very shaken, and it was really traumatic.
Paulette Gilbert was with 15 other passengers on the Gwinnett County Transit bus Tuesday when police say 39-year-old Joseph Greer got into a fight with another passenger. According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, that passenger pulled out a gun, Greer then grabbing it and shooting him and taking the bus hostage.
Someone has the driver hostage.
Overnight, the driver and his daughter speaking with ABC News.
I don't know exactly what other people will do on my place. But for me, I was right because people always coming first. I was ready to die for them.
You know, what happened to my dad is not just, a singular occurrence. It's happening all over the world.
The suspect, Greer, leading police on a dangerous chase through rush hour traffic, causing multiple crashes along the way. All the while, Greer had the gun trained on Antoine, who had only been on the job for 3 months.
He turned the gun on me and directed me to go. Don't stop on the road. If I stop, he's going to kill me.
Another passenger telling ABC News when police finally stopped the bus, Greer threw his gun and tried to disguise himself as one of the victims.
When I get out, the police point the gun on me. I said, no, I'm not the killer. I'm the driver. And then they asked me, who is the killer? I say, him.
Police say the 39-year-old is a convicted felon with 19 prior arrests. Moments before he allegedly took the transit bus hostage, this man, who identified himself as Greer, recording an interview with reporters at the scene of another deadly shooting just blocks away in downtown Atlanta, telling them he witnessed that shooting.
He ran, that's when the whole shooting happened.
Meanwhile, family members remembering the 58-year-old victim, Ernest Bird, who died at the hospital, saying he survived by 7 children and 7 grandchildren.
He was just an amazing man, a family man, a protector, a provider, and I just want that to be known about him.
The other passengers grateful the frightening ordeal is now behind them.
We don't believe what happened, but we're going to make it.
And the suspect has said he suffers from bipolar disorder and hasn't gotten his medication in weeks. In the meantime, though, we're learning that an employee of the Fulton County DA, Fonnie Willis, was also a victim and a witness in this incident. Faith Abube, ABC News, Atlanta.
Okay, the Mavs hope for an NBA title. Well, it took a major hit last night.
That's right. Dallas fought back, but could not beat the Boston Celtics at home. And RJ is back with a breakdown of this loss. And we understand that they fought back really hard at that fourth quarter.
They did. But they are done, y'all. Spurs fans rejoice. Just right.
Okay,
Look,
you know that Spurs fans, we don't like the Mavs.
Okay, I've gone back and forth with, some viewers about this. Like, are you supposed to cheer for the Mavs because they're a Texas team?
Right.
Or are you supposed to cheer against them because you're a Spurs fan?
I mean, if you're a hardcore Spurs fan, you cheer against them, right?
I'm with you on that.
Thank you.
That's the way I see it, too.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm glad we're on the same team, RJ.
Anyways, yes.
The case by case.
Getting a lot of grief there from. But anyway, yeah, keep those comments coming in. All right, guys. Yes, Dallas looking for a bounce back win here as they headed back to the Victory Center there, the American Airlines Arena. Luka here getting ready to go, dominating early on, and Luka right there taking it on Jason Tatum. Nice layup. Luka had himself a nice game, and Dallas got out to a pretty nice lead early on. Kyrie Irving actually showed up for this game. He finished with a series high 35 points, but Dallas unfortunately did not get much help from anyone else. You see Kyrie hitting one there from the near logo and got the fans there very excited at the AAC. But as they've continued to do, Boston just kind of churning away here. Jason Tatum had himself a nice game, 31 points. And then you see that? Look at that block there. My guy, Derek White, former Spurs, doing big things for the Celtics, gets it ahead to Jason Tatum for the dunk there. But the player of the game in this one, Jaylen Brown. Look at this dunk. Oh, my God. Jaylen Brown just doing Justin Horn type of stuff out there.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, 30
That's
points.
filthy.
That's pretty nice. Look at that. Yeah, I think that confirms what you're saying, Justin. Filthy stuff there. Yeah. Jaylen Brown, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Look, the Mavs, they were down by 21 in the fourth quarter. They did battle back. PJ Washington cuts that lead to 6 points there. Patrick Mahomes in the house. He's a big Mavericks fan. And but unfortunately, we see Luka Doncic foul out right here. Controversial call to foul Luka out with 4 minutes left, and the Celtics pulled away. Let's hear from the guys after the game.
Like I said, it's not over until it's over, so we just gotta believe.
When you look at experience, we're all learning, what it means to be on this stage and going through it. There's a lot of young players on our side who have never done this before, so just to understand, we'll talk about that, that this experience that we're going through is a healthy thing. It's not a bad thing.
It's awesome. I mean, I don't even really have words. It kind of doesn't even feel real right now, and I'm just trying to stay in the moment. Like, it feels great to be up 3-0 in this series, but the job's not done.
All right, Boston, big win here. Jason Kidd looks like he can still actually get on the court there. Sad Luka Doncic right here. Okay, game 4. All these games, again, on KSAT 12. The Mavs are down 3-0. No team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. But again, it's not over till it is over. Tip-off time 7:30 there from the American Airlines Center out there in Dallas. So we will see if the Mavs can get one of those wins. All right. Now to our beloved San Antonio Spurs. The Silver and Black are calling on all the fans here for a free draft watch party. So the Spurs have pick number 4 and number 8. So they're going to be pretty busy on draft night. And what better way to watch the draft than on the big screen at the Rock at La Cantera out there in the far northwest side. They're going to have food, drinks, raffles, all kinds of other Spurs activities. That will all be available for the fans in attendance. And things are going to tip off out there 6 o'clock. This is 2 weeks from today on the 26th. It's open to everyone. If you need more information, all you got to do is head over to KSAT.com. And of course, if you cannot make that watch party, y'all, you can watch the draft live here on KSAT 12. 2 nights this year for the first time in NBA history. So they're extending that out. But the Spurs, again, picks number 4 and number 8. Wemby, we're coming.
Yes.
This is our year.
Yes.
4 and 8 plus Wemby.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I'm
that's
not
what I'm
pretty
saying.
good at
You know
math,
what?
but
Dallas needs
that math
to
is
take
mathing.
advantage. Yeah. Dallas needs to take advantage of this now because Wemby's coming. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Spurs are.
Get your zoomies out, Dallas.
Your zoomies out.
or your fraps, what do they call it?
Yeah, fraps and zoomies. Yeah,
Fraps and zoomies
they have to
all
do
the
that
way.
on Friday. But in the meantime, go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go. Thank you, RJ.
Time now 9:40 and 83 degrees for now. You're watching GMSA at 9.
We'll be right back.
Well, check out what a 9-year-old from Colorado created for her science project. So it is a Barbie solar system and it's gone viral on TikTok with millions of views. Alice created the solar system display using a functional and fashionable spin on it, using the Barbie dolls to represent the sun and all 9 planets.
She handcrafted the outfits for each one, highlighting unique planetary features. Alice's mom says her daughter crafted the project almost completely on her own. She has since gotten reviews from fans like American Eagle, the Met, and even a shout out from Barbie herself.
How cool. I love that. That's pretty.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the sun.
The sun.
The sun and all the
I think she has
there.
a future as a scientist / fashion designer.
Yeah.
Venus is really cute. Oh, Earth.
Earth is beautiful. We love it. We love it.
Way to go, Alice.
Very ingenious.
Yeah, super creative. I love that.
Creative of you.
Oh, look at that one. That's very nice. We're looking out there with ZooCam. It's HippoCam this morning, and yes,
no zoomies.
We can see that. No, they're chill in the morning.
No farps from them.
They're like side by side.
Oh no, well, not farps, fraps.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. No frapping from the hippos. Yeah.
Oh boy.
No, they're very chill this morning, and it's always a great day to go to the zoo.
Oh, Timmy.
83 degrees, not too bad.
Super cute.
They're just chilling.
Okay, fraps.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
frenetic. What? Can you please?
Yes.
I'm not making this up.
No, yeah, it's right here. It's frenetic random activity period.
Known as frap.
Fraps.
Not farp. I'm sorry.
When
the
you're,
fraps.
and if you weren't with us earlier, that's when your puppy or your dog will
Your
like
zoomies.
Yeah, your
Your
zoomies.
zoomies.
You're running across the room really
It's the
fast.
science word for zoomies.
So we were kind of looking forward to the hippos doing a little frap.
Because the zoo has posted them doing zoomies.
Yes.
Hippos? They move fast?
Oh, they move fast.
At night.
Especially out in the wild.
At night.
Hey.
Google it.
RJ was there for a night visit, but there was a function happening at the zoo, and he went and saw them in the glass. He saw that they were pretty active. I was like, well, we always see them at night, and I guess they're kind of sleepy.
Yeah, because they're partying at night. That's why.
Yeah.
They're party animals.
Yes, they are.
Work hard, play hard. Let's take a look at the drought monitor. And what we've got going on is basically West Texas and our neck of the woods really suffering from drought. We've been in this position for so very long. And then you see basically East Texas is out of drought. They've gotten a ton of rain. We've chipped into this a little bit, but not enough. Not enough. And basically our drought situation looks the way it did for the past year, where we have extreme drought. Not exceptional, so there is that. Across parts of Bandera, Kerr, and Kendall counties. And then out towards Del Rio and Brackettville, you've also got extreme drought. Here in San Antonio, we're moderate drought. And all this means is that we need rain. Things have dried out. If we get gusty winds, it can mean fire issues. There's a lot to this, but we've helped ourselves the last couple of days with some rainfall. And the rainfall totals, well, this is over the last 24 hours, but over the last several days, we've gotten some pretty decent rain in spots, and it's been great to see. The authority radar right now does not give us much. We noticed a couple showers south of San Antonio. Those are moving away and honestly dissipating, so I think our rain chances today are probably 10% at best. The computer models show a couple of isolated showers or storms here and there, so I can't completely rule it out. I just don't think the radar is going to be active like it has the last couple days. So 90 noontime, 93 at 1 o'clock. We'll top out right around 96. Feels like number's going to be close to 101. So it will still be very humid out there. And then look for temperatures down to 92 at 8 o'clock, 89 at 9 p.m. Tropical weather outlook. This is what we've been talking about most of the morning. Hurricane Center has upped the area here in the Gulf of Mexico to a 40% chance of development. Do we need to be worried? Short answer to that is no, but folks along the Texas Gulf Coast should be prepared. I would tell you that odds are, and the way things are looking, that if we were to get organization, this would move west, probably towards Mexico. And that may not be a great scenario for us. We'd like for this to stay, once it develops, by the way, we don't have anything here yet, but once it develops early next week, to stay rather disorganized, because we would have a better chance of seeing some tropical moisture feeding into South Texas. This is one of our computer models, and it does show this thing trying to get wound up a little bit, but still throwing some tropical moisture in our direction by, say, Tuesday into Wednesday. I think the better odds for seeing that good deep tropical moisture are going to be across deep South Texas and the Texas coast, but perhaps we could get enough in here to get some tropical downpours, which, if we can add to our rainfall totals, that would be great. In the meantime, we're also going to watch for some Saharan dust that's making its way across the Atlantic. It looks like this may move into our area by Monday afternoon. That'll be something to watch. A little hazy in the atmosphere, not a big deal, but out ahead of that wave, we may see a little bit of that before it arrives. So our forecast, 98 Friday, 99 Saturday, 100 for Father's Day, and then we get to add in those rain chances next week, which would, in theory, bring temperatures down depending on how much cloud cover we see and that chance for rain.
And if we don't get that rain, the temps go right back up?
Sure. I mean, we're getting into late June, so that's pretty much given. But I would say that this June so far has been a little bit better to us than last year. So there's positives to take away.
That's true. Okay,
Yep.
we'll take it.
Knock on some wood. Where's wood?
Down there.
Not in the studio.
All right, thank you.
Good idea.
Time now 9:50 and 83 degrees. Well, you might have seen this guy on social media. Millions of people follow him for his dad advice. So when we come back, we're learning more about Bo Peterson and how his social media stardom began.
You having trouble getting your mower started? Try changing the spark plug.
Some dads just want to help in the humblest way possible. Would you consider yourself a handy guy?
I guess I am. I'm going to teach you how I swap out a light switch.
Bo Peterson of just outside Seattle is both a father to 6 children and to millions of people online who follow him for his quote-unquote dad advice.
If you're going with the first option and you have a pop-up valve like this.
But as much as he loves teaching his followers how to unclog the sink, he initially only agreed to start this channel to help his daughter who runs the page, Emily.
Out of all the kids, I think we're the closest.
When Emily was in college, she sustained a traumatic brain injury during a soccer game, and her symptoms only worsened over the past decade. As her parents started taking her around the country to try different experimental treatments, Emily turned to her dad and said, "Hey, can I start recording some of your advice and putting it online?"
I was trying to give her something to do so she didn't spend all of her time in despair.
I couldn't have ever predicted that it would go like this.
I wear these when I'm mowing, can't even hear when I hit the rocks.
3 years later, as they still make these videos together, the page has exploded so much that now Bo receives sponsorships which actually help him pay Emily's medical bills. And as we round third on Father's Day, Bo can't help but think of his dad, Einar, who before passing away in the last year, taught Bo many of these skills that now help him care for his child.
I get a lot of messages from people that lost their fathers, and they're very appreciative of the advice and things that I give. That makes me feel really good too.
One of the ways Emily convinced Bo to start this channel was by saying that it would help teach his 6 kids and now 3 grandkids in the time. And recently, Bo says his son got a flat tire, and instead of calling his dad, he just pulled out his phone and started watching his dad's videos instead. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
And speaking of Father's Day, it's going to be hot. We're going to see temperatures around 100 on Sunday. A hot weekend, hot and humid, but things change a little bit next week. We'll be watching how that tropical system unfolds in the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, we have some breaking news. Legendary Tejano music host Johnny Canales has died at the age of 77.
Well, and there is a Facebook post from El Show that Johnny Inora Canales stated, in part, quote, "With heavy hearts, we announce the passing of Johnny Canales. He was more than just a beloved husband, father, TV host, musician, and entertainer. He was a beacon of hope and joy for countless people."
Yeah, Canales, if you don't know, is the host of the famous Johnny Canales Show, a half hour of Tejano music, and a variety show that aired in my hometown of Corpus Christi on KRIS. And of course, he was known for his friendly catchphrase. We leave you with this: "You got it, take it away." We'll miss you, Johnny.
Thanks for joining us.